Listen, I don't wear chains. If you wear chains, you can play 125s. We nearly had to put a little bleep on the audio there for you.
I don't know if the mic caught it.
Great. That's busted, no?
Yeah, it felt good. I'll take that though.
Oh, good. So would most of the PGA Tour. Components are in. We are back in the workshop here at KBSX. It's time to build Nicky's golf clubs. We've got my man Ev, who's going to be going through this, getting it done from start to finish. One of the most important things when you do this is that you measure the set that comes in, you agree on the journey and where you're going, and then you get on with it. So we've got everything laid out, perfect and ready to go. Let's get into the process. One of the things that was in discussion here is the cap and the length on the end of the grip here. When we took the measurements of the golf clubs, we went cut length. That is going to counter in the fact that we're going to have this mid-size lambkin grip. We've got everything written out now. Loft and lie's been agreed to have the gapping through the set. We went with a 52, 56 and 60 in the mill grind 4s. And we've also added in at the top end a 770 3-iron. Now with that, the loft has been weakened slightly in order to give the correct launch and the correct spin rate for that club as you come down into the set. So only the 3-iron, a bit like Tommy Fleetwood, has gone in as the P770. The rest is going to be those P7CBs throughout the set. All right, so tip grinding goes up first. One of the pro tips on this, as you can see as Evan goes through it, look at the width of the tip grind. So if you cover that and then I grab this, you're just doing the tip grind so that the epoxy will adhere. So obviously it's all covered, you're not going to see any of that. There is no hard stepping, soft stepping going on, which is why every single golf shaft is placed next to every single iron. Effectively, so you don't screw this up and put the wrong shaft in the wrong iron throughout the process. But each step needs to be done in the right process, one sitting, in order to get the same builder building it the right way. The next up is going to be cutting the length of the golf club. So we've got butt cutting here, ensuring everything's spot on. So the 3-iron is going to be cut at 39. So then you obviously place the grip on that and will be. Now the reason he gave it the spin and added the little section there is because you get a burr when you cut, especially with this because the jig is going straight through. On tour, we'll spin the golf shaft, you still get a slight burr. But the reason you go along the edge, when it comes to putting the tape on, which we're going to do later, and sliding the grip on, you then get this section where, I mean, that's mint. You can tell he's done a few sets of golf clubs here. But you're not going to then catch it. I mean, I can put my finger straight down that, even this way, with no cutting at all. This seems the appropriate time to tell you that so far so good. I love everything that's happening. If you want to get your golf clubs made here, this process will happen for you too. If you don't live in Carlsbad, you don't want to come to the fitting itself, you can send them in and Evan will give your golf clubs this kind of treatment as well. So the grips are going to be 2 tapes. Now look, you've got 2 types of tape. On tour, my default, unless listed otherwise, is to go with this 2-way. Sticky on that side, sticky on that side. It's a different weight to the single build-up tape. So for the step that Evan's going through now, it's important. This is only sticky on the side it's stuck to my finger at, but it's a different weight. So for Evan here, who's on the swing weight dial now, you can see on the gauge, he's got the lambkin cross line with the cord, which means it's going to weigh a little bit more again. Then he's got 2 papers, 2 tapes, call it whatever you want, wherever you're based in the world. Aussies are papers. I'm probably papers because it sounds cool. Are you a tape or papers guy?
Tape.
Tape, American, tape. 2 papers he's got down there. And then we stick that in, and as he puts, now he's put the weight in the hosel. He's got it's dry build, effectively, is what we call this. I always go for like 1/4 to a half swing weight for the epoxy. How much do you allow for that?
I'd probably do 1/4, at most half. Nothing much than that, yeah.
Do you agree with me?
I agree with you.
He agrees with me. Papers and tape, we disagree, but same amount of epoxy, he agrees. So what he's switching out here, he's got a full weight kit. There's an actual pocket in the head, just under the hosel, where he can bang a weight in there. Again, he gets it 1/4 to a half light, which is why he's changing this, as he keeps as he puts the epoxy in down the line. Because you'll have some glass beads, you've seen me do it on the tour truck, that will center the golf shaft in this as well. I think we're going for D3, weren't we, on the irons?
D3, yes,
so
sir.
D3 on the irons, so he'll get this to like, with the bill, probably D2.5, and then that epoxy will kick you up to D3.
Yes, sir.
Just got to get everything right. Remember, using a pretty strong golf shaft. So if you're using a pretty strong golf shaft, then you do need to get your swing weight bang on. Swing weight for me changes everything. You've heard me harp on about this a lot. We just had a little offline conversation about the lie angles. They changed a little bit looking at the original notes. If your lie angles are far away from what standard would be, I hate the term standard, but if they go left field and you get a character in your fitting center who's 2 or 3 degrees up or 2 or 3 degrees flat, which would be very rare, then you want to bend the lies before you do the lengths, because the lengths can change significantly. Because if you notice when Evan was cutting the lengths, he's doing center of the club head to the butt end of the golf club.
D3, 3.0 on the dot, baby.
I don't need to check it, mate. I trust you.
Thank you.
Thousands wouldn't. Has he got it right? I'm not looking. As the clubs get shorter in length, the heads get heavier. So I think Evan just said something there, but if you start, obviously his box of weights goes from heavier in this bottom right corner through to lighter. The plan is he starts with the long irons, he wants to shift more towards the back left corner, because the raw weight of the 60 should be heavier than the 3-iron, because the shaft is shorter, and that's why on a wedge you can have more mass in the sole. You can have, like up here, look at this is between my finger and thumb, that's all mass. So the idea is that you can manipulate the CG more. Now where that would come in deeper is if you wanted to grind these wedges in addition to the milled grind that's already in there. You need mass in order to grind. If you don't have the mass, you can't grind. So looking in here, you can see throughout this whole process, Evan has been diving into the weights. It's exactly like the tour truck. You see it on Wade's side. You get into these weights. We were just having an offline conversation. You were saying as a club builder, you love this setup versus having to burn weights outright and having to get involved in that.
Absolutely. So this setup I love in regards to what TaylorMade did here is because I can go from 18 grams, which is this big slug, all the way down to 1 gram, depending on where your club head weighs out at. That's why I love this set of TaylorMades.
So you're going to see as you go through a set, as I was talking about, the 3-iron will be the lightest head all the way through to your 60 that's going to be your heaviest. So you keep seeing him go back to this. This is the North Star for club building, and it's something that when we get this customizable, or if you come and do this process with Evan, you've got to have this in order to make these sing.
Now we're going to go to the epoxy. So we're going to go over there, glue the heads down.
I actually like DP810, which is the epoxy that they use. I'm a fan of that for sure. Or as you've seen me use on the tour truck, the one with the curing cells. But I think this is like the gold standard for sure. The shaft beads have gone in, so you can see around the edge all the glass beading. Quick Center Golf Works, you can get various companies, but yeah, that's a popular one. If your swing weights, if you don't have the luxury of Evan's box that he had over there, you do want to get some lead powder in your glue potentially. And as you can see, you get a white and a turquoise. This is now kind of gone, greeny turquoise. Evan didn't mix it for very long because he's building a set, but if you're building a flat stick, you tend to mix them for a long time in order for it to set.
The more you mix, the faster it cures.
Yeah.
That's kind of the base way of saying it. But
Did
since
well
you
there.
have...
He's getting it in quick. I said, get your point across quickly.
Yeah.
Finally, Evan just corrected me. Thank you, Evan. Of course. So he's put a bit of weight on a bit of glue on the weight, the slug weight, pushes it down, key step again, and then he's popping a bit on the tip of the golf shaft.
And always bang it down, kind of make sure it's set, make sure it's cure, you'll hear a sound. You'll hear that clicking sound. For those who know what it sounds like, it clicks, the head clicks in, it's done deal, it's set.
And then obviously, like, it's important, you see he's got them set up at the back end there, all the blue napkin type stuff. If you keep it clean throughout, and I get a hard time for this when you guys watch me build stuff on the truck, fingerprints and stuff, they go on the golf shaft. If you get the grease off the epoxy or a little bit of epoxy on your fingers, that's when you get it on. If you do a job like this, which is good, and that's what I'm looking at, everything is clean throughout. He's dipping in the acetone, he's getting everything off and making sure that he's not got too much epoxy. Now you can see on the piece of napkin that he used there, the acetone hit the top of the ferrule, and that's why you got this slight black. That's all majority glue, but he was cautious not to put that acetone on the ferrule so you don't take off like the sheen of the ferrule as well. He's actually, don't tell him, but he's doing a nice job here.
So a funny trick, Trotty's saying acetone, it's actually hand sanitizer.
Really?
Yeah, it's hand sanitizer. So the reason why I use hand sanitizer is because, back to Trotty's point, if I acetone a ferrule, it's going to come off a little. So this hand sanitizer, if you look here, I turn and make it look clean. It's all good.
There you go. I didn't know that you could use hand sanitizer for that. I've actually got no fingerprints on my fingers because I've been using acetone for 20 years, but apparently hand sanitizer, you can tell he went through COVID a little different than I did. It's good. I think one of the things as well, when you look around this workshop, workshops can get messy, and it's important that everything is tidy. Like, look at this. I know I've taken the mickey out of this earlier, but it's tidy, it's tidy, it's tidy, it's tidy. Within reason, we are in a working workshop, but everything is pretty clean. You come into problems with club building if you don't have your spec sheet on the money. If you're wrong, it's like potting. You've got to be, well, I say it holding the freaking broomstick, but you've got to be decisive on what you're doing and where you're going, and then you've got to use it to your advantage. And I think if you do that, then you end up with a nice set of golf clubs. It only goes pear-shaped if you don't follow your process, which is why through this, I didn't make Evan build one club and then we capture everything, wrap the video and get out of here. You've got to go step by step.
All done, I would just sit them, let them dry, and then, you know, clean them up a little with acetone, clean the ferrule, make them look all good, and then throw on the grips. Trotty's favorite part.
Most important part. Okay, so these bad boys are dry now. We're going to obviously pop the across on the irons and whip over to the gripping station. It's actually a pretty good gripping station, as Evan has alluded to. I am very particular about how the grips go on, so we'll be keeping an eye on this. Going to use the two-way tape, 2 pieces, and go from there. I've looked at the notes. I've got logo up, but these are rounds, so I feel like it could be dealer's choice. I'd say logo down.
I say logo down. it's corded. I just like it look better. It's more aesthetic. Logo down. That's what I'd go with.
I like it.
Yeah, first things first, I'm gonna clean the ferrules after they're done gluing. I'm not gonna be like Trotty and have no fingerprints, so I threw on the glove, you know? All you do is a little 1-2 spin, push down, and they look crispy. Done deal. More acetone, the better, in my opinion. Just flies off easier. It just comes a little more silkier. Taking care of Nikki, you know?
Chain Brothers.
The Chain Bros. 2 chains.
He's also got chains on and he's ahead of the game. Maybe we got to get chains, Q. Yeah, we got to get chains. Go for it.
Q, we got to get Trotty with a couple chains on in that little YouTube.
Nah. Thumbnails only.
Thumbnails only.
Listen, I don't wear chains. If you wear chains, you can play 125. Check this out. Every grip station has its own things in particular. This is not a tour truck, I get it, but this here, you drop it into here, is actually a nice feature. So you get on this, you can do your gripping. This we can use if we want to, which is a laser alignment. We won't need to because the logos are down, but that is a nice piece. You got to have everything ready to go and easy to move to as we prep up the grips for this section.
So what we're doing right here, it's a little trick. See how they always have plastic? Just hit it down, take the plastic off. This is the easier way of getting the plastic off than trying to struggle one by one and do that, especially when you don't have fingernails like me. So.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that's what you did, a little bouquet.
Yeah.
Bouquet of cross lines.
You like that?
I do like that.
2 wraps, some people go over and under. It all preference for Nikki. So we'll go 1 up, 1 down, and we'll go from there.
So he's got the length of the grip there. Notice how he put the grip across the tape where the serrated edge is. Then if you notice, he's got 1/4 inch beyond. So now we know that there's going to be no tape sticking out the end. I actually don't mind a bit of tape sticking out the end, but if you can do it this way, it is better. I'll give you that. And then this part with the flat hand, you can't have any creases. Just about acceptable. I'd give him 9.6 out of 10.
9.6 is crazy.
So what I would do at this stage, well, I'm going to see what you do next. I'd do one thing differently so far.
You want to tuck it?
No, I'm fine with the tuck. But I got to know where that grip's got to get to on that golf shaft.
So you'd mark it. So most people mark it.
I would mark it if it was my own set. It's different. You're building a set.
So check this out. If I marked every single grip, I build about 3 to 4 sets a day. That's about 10, 20, 30, 40 grips to say the least, maybe more, give or take. if I were to mark every single one, it'd be different. So it's like, for me, my eye is feel here, and I feel there. And that's where I stop, as soon as I feel it. So I make sure it's on. I don't want to push it forward. That's where you get a messed up grip. That's where people overstretch grips, do all that.
So what I would do though, is I would put that against it. Yeah, so for me,
You want it marked right there.
I would stretch to length every time.
Really?
But that's me. Now, certain players don't have stretch to length. I'm not saying you stretch to length now. You do you, otherwise this will screw it up. It's got to be the same.
I'm going to do me.
Yeah, it has to be the same for everyone.
Yeah,
But if I'm gripping, I'm stretching to length. For me.
That's
for
good
my
enough.
own grips.
That's
And
good
then
enough.
certain tour players, I'd stretch to length, and others I wouldn't. It's like Paul Lawrie won the Open 99, I think. He was so particular. And the other thing I noticed, you didn't bang down the butt end.
Yeah.
Like, so Lawrie would want the...
This here.
But mate, it has to be
Yeah.
pushing over.
Over the... Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You almost have to have it coming through, and that kind of got in my head. And then when you push on, he has to have them stretched. That got in my head, and I was just like, I like the way he did it.
So one thing that when people ask for it pushed in like this, right? For example, you can't really tell because I'm not trying to ruin it. What I've noticed is people that don't really take care of their stuff, it tends to break.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
So it tends to break, and some people come back in here and they're like, my grips broke, my grips broke.
But it's how you wanted them
But
on.
it's how you wanted them
Yeah,
on. So it's kind
100%.
of like, for Nicky, for example, he didn't state pushed in, pushed off. As long as I don't feel any gapping on the head right here of the grip or the tail end of the grip, then it's totally good. And obviously you make your fine adjustments, you make the lambkin look straight, do whatever need be to complete the order.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. And the thing with the chords,
it's kind of different, yeah.
It's hard because the chord goes in different directions.
Yeah.
So when you are trying to straighten up, now this is a round and the low goes down, but if I look at this, like the things I'm gauging off are this black line down the side and this black line down the side, and then when I flip it this way, I would like the decal line at the top lined up with that one for the center of the blade and the lambkin straight. But when I put it down,
it's going to change.
Yeah, because of the way the chord is,
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't look right. But Lambkin have done a nice job there. Again, the only thing that would be different from me, every one of these puppies has got to come out now with 1/4 inch there, between there and there. Otherwise, fail. So we'll see. He won't fail.
So for me and the viewers at home, what do you think the most important part of a build is?
Well, I think as a fitter, there's 3. Swing weight, loft and lie, and then because of your connection with the golf club, grip. As a fitter talking to a player. Okay. But I mean, as a builder, you might answer differently. I mean, every builder takes pride in their work.
Absolutely, no, without a doubt.
So they might answer differently.
My whole thing is like, and this is the most important part, and this is what we can guarantee you here, it's not a good fitting if there isn't a good build.
100%.
You know, it has to go all the way down the line. So from the time we took through Nicky's, we took our time, took everything, all the accountability for what we showed him in here, we're now putting here.
It's funny because I've done videos like this on the channel before, and Troy Mullins was the one that we did, very old video. I'll see if I can put a link in the description. It's an old one, but it started the day before on the tour truck.
Yeah.
And we were on the tour truck for as long as we've been in here, which is the time to build a set of golf clubs. If you are getting a fitting, Evan raises a good point. You need to be, workshop is building those clubs for you and putting the sort of care into it that we've put into this set. So the final piece now is the loft and lie. We've got a Mitchell loft and lie machine, which I actually really like that. Again, I'm quite particular on my digital versus analog swing weight. Same with this. And then Evan's got the clampers on there with the copper that will protect the hosel when you bend it so you don't get any crease marks. Not a tour issue, but some consumers and customers do get upset if there's a little crease mark where the loft at the bending bar has been. But we will, or Evan will, put this against the golf shaft, which then will give you your loft on the bottom and then lie angle there. I think we graded everything off the 7-iron, so due to the Tiger Watts in the bag, the long iron's going to be a bit more upright than what you might find for a tour graded set, certainly from the 2000s, late 90s. So this 3-iron is coming in at 62. So yeah, a hair upright, but that'll help with the turnover. Not that Nicky needed that, but grading off the set, this is where we'll start. As you go down into the long irons, we change his lying up. The short irons, we change his lying a little bit to cater for his long arms. So yeah, I like where it's at. We got 21, which is old school 3-iron loft, 62. So on this 770, that's going to give you a little bit more launch, and we'll just bang through the rest of the set, and then these things will be done. So there you have it. The magic happens in this whole scenario once you go through the club fitting, the testing, don't beat too many golf balls, have the set made, and have it done in front of your eyes is ideal. You can do all of that here at KBSX. Hope you enjoyed the video. Nicky, these bad boys are going to be on their way to you. Keep me posted. Let's capture some data and play some golf. For everyone else out there, be sure to subscribe and bang any questions down below. Until next time, that's an iron build and a setup here at KBSX in Carlsbad, California.